There is no question that our existing system is in need of an overhaul. The numbers speak for themselves. The retirement system currently has only 58.5% of the funds needed to cover its long-term liabilities, a shortfall of more than $3.5 billion. That's billion with a B. The reforms we will present today are measured. They'll put us on the path to financial stability.
We have a problem that we have to confront. We need to do it in a way that maintains the goals of the retirement system. Affordable pensions for taxpayers that are reasonable for beneficiaries, and a system that is stable and viable and does not put, as it does today, all of the risk and all of the costs of this unfunded liability onto taxpayers. So we believe it is appropriate to begin the process of restructuring our benefit level, to ask, as most other states do, that people in particular in public safety jobs work for 25 years instead of 20 years, to exclude certain things like sick time and unused vacation time from the calculation of the pension, to average out over 5 years instead of 3 years, to continue the freeze on the medical subsidy, and for new employees to increase the contribution level that they will pay into the retirement system. Now, let me stress, most of these reforms that we're talking about today, in fact, for current retirees, they will not be impacted. And for people that are vested, there will be minimal impact.
On behalf of county government and the 5,000 employees that we employ across the state, we recognize that some reform is necessary to our present retirement system. And some of us who have been in the system, I've been in public office for 35 years here in New Hampshire, have seen this problem coming for a long time. So it's my pleasure to be here. I will join with many of my colleagues across the state, to join with Senator Bradley and the co-sponsors of this bill, to move forward with a balanced approach to reforming our present retirement system. And in doing so, we want to ensure the 75,000 people that presently are in the system receive the promises they were made, but we also have to be concerned about the long-term sustainability of the pension fund. We also need to create some balance in the system as it relates to the 479 employers of the system, which include county governments, local governments, state governments, who are burdened with the responsibility and the liability of meeting those promises.
That the current system is on a course where a day of reckoning is coming. And unfortunately, the choices are going to be to maintain the current system, to either increase property taxes or to curtail services. Now, the kind of services that our members provide are fundamental services to education of our children. And the last thing that we want to have to do as school boards is to cut fundamental services to students because of needing to pay what we consider to be unreasonable and unsustainable rates for retirees.
Finally, for Peterborough and many other small towns, the cost of this benefit has become prohibitive. In Peterborough, for example, we want to expand our fire and public safety and our emergency response. But we are unable to hire and fund full-time firefighter and emergency response positions when retirement costs alone are $31 for every $100 in compensation. This proposal will make it affordable for small towns to employ or to continue to employ full-time fire safety personnel.
We know this will be a controversial subject and that compromises will be made on both sides, but make no mistake, this is a multi-billion-dollar problem that hangs over the head of every taxpayer in New Hampshire, especially New Hampshire's business community. We cannot delay action, and we congratulate House and Senate leadership for recognizing this issue as a priority and committing themselves to getting the job done. Thank you.
In the weeks ahead, we look forward to working with all of the interested parties to enact the changes needed to put the system back on stable financial footing and to do it in a way that is fair and equitable to those involved. But to be clear, the status quo is no longer acceptable. Inaction is no longer an option, It is time for elected officials, employers, and employees to get to work together to solve this problem.